we're going to kind of finish up our conversation from last week where we were talking about how to generate more motivated leads. And today, Cameron is going to help us walk through our campaign feature that's inside Trio and how you can use that campaign to generate some business. So, hey, good morning, Cameron.
Morning. Thank you so much, Sean. Yeah, so last week we trained on the overview of the Trio application here powered by Rapid Funnel. So for some of you folks on the call or watching the recording, if you have yet to download it, our colleague here will share it in the chat bar. So you can get access to this tool, standard version, at no cost to you. Of course, you're going to love it and want to upgrade, but for now, it is totally free for you to access. So today we are training on the long tail strategy. I'm sure a lot of you guys maybe currently send out newsletters to your clientele base. Maybe you're doing a lot of newsletters now looking for referrals, but sometimes you meet somebody and they're, looking to sell in 6 months from now. Think about the amount of people that you spoke to that was thinking about it. And you maybe put them in your phone as a contact and you never texted them, or, how are you going to really remember those folks? Not only do they need to remember you, you need to remember them as well. So having long tail campaigns where you actually get notified when they open up your emails, 3 months, 6 months down the road, those little reminders, those little check-ins we need as realtors to, follow up, check in. Oh, it's 6 months now. We can, see where they're at in that sense. So how do we keep in touch long-term with those interested contacts who truly aren't ready to make a move? Without a campaign here, Sean, or an automated follow-up system, are you just constantly putting things in your calendar 6 months in advance, or what's your strategy?
Well, yeah, I use Google Calendar for everything. So I live in the calendar. So if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So if you forget to, I'll follow up with you in 6 months and you don't put that on your calendar,
Yeah.
most likely that prospect's never going to get followed up with and they're going to go with somebody else, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. And how do you know who deserves your follow-up time? You could be, reaching out on a weekly basis when you're trying to get somebody to list, or maybe you're not always focusing on the right prospects who truly aren't ready. They could keep telling you that, but how do we engage their interest? And with our AI algorithm here with the Trio tool, we actually rate your prospects on a scoreboard for you. The more time they spend engaging with your content. So if they open up one of your emails, they go to one of these third-party phenomenal resources, articles, we're actually tracking how much time they're spending on those pages or watching videos. And we start to rate them as a prospect. The higher their score, the more you know who to focus on. So that's really going to benefit you. And, about most email campaigns have really poor opt-in rates of about 3% or less nationwide. Our campaign here, through authentic sharing technology, which powers the Trio application, we're actually seeing delivery rates of about 98.6% and opt-in rates around the 58% mark. And that's the way we train our clientele base to, verify customers, clients, prospects' email address for a very simple tool. And we'll get into that shortly. And there's nothing personal or authentic currently about email campaigns. The amount of time it would take you to go find all these resources, put it in active campaign and write out all these campaigns. It takes time. You're paying for a separate subscription. Here it's included in the platform for you. And we're writing them as if it's coming from you as that realtor to that homeowner or that potential prospect. So they're not coming through as like a more of a newsletter. They're actually coming through as if you took the time to type that email. Any other challenges in the campaign space or automation here in real estate?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge I think where real estate agents get hung up is really in planning, right? And I talk a lot about when I'm working one-on-one with my coaching clients about Daniel Kahneman's book, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow, right? Which is your brain has two processes. It's got the system one, which is the reactive processes that we operate in about 80% of the time. But there's another process too called system two, which is our logical thinking in the absence of emotion. And the challenge that I think a lot of agents have is they spend all their time reacting, and very little time planning. Okay. So in the coaching section in the Trio app, I actually have a whole section on how do you manage your CRM, which, people use CRM as contact relationship management. I call it a contact reminder management. Hey, remember this person, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
I should call them. So how to manage that. And then more importantly to that is how do you manage your communication throughout the year and how do you plan that out? So there's a whole section in there that's available in the free app version for them to download a PDF, and they can actually work this out, by writing in System 2 thinking. When you're writing and you're thinking about something, you're in System 2, and then utilizing our app in order to execute that. So when you're in System 2, when you're in System 1 and you're reactive, the app is managing you, right? The app is reminding you, hey, call this person, do this, right? And that's what's important.
Absolutely. So that is what we call the long tail strategy, planning up front with a tool that's going to do those check-ins. And I love that contact reminder management. That's a great term here for this Trio tool because you're getting real-time notifications. Of course, there's softwares out there that, let you know if you actually look at the email that was sent, you actually have to go in and look and see if it was open, right? This one actually sends you a push notification in real time as that customer opens it. The best people to follow up with are the last folks who engaged with your content. Imagine the power of, speaking with Sean today and, day 120, he reads my email. I see that. And then I give him a call that afternoon. Coincidence? No, it's just this fact that, I was thinking about you. I just read your email today, and you can get right in that conversation. You don't have to say, hey, I saw you open my email. Just say, hey, it's been a couple weeks, couple months, just wanted to check in, see where you're at in the buying process. So,
well, and let's be honest, like any of us that have been in sales for any period of time, we know the customers that we remember are not the great customers, right? The customers that we remember are the mean ones, right? We knocked on that door and the guy yelled at us, and we remember, I could tell you what it looked like. I could tell you what color shirt he was wearing. I could tell you what the label on his shirt said. You know what I mean? But the nice lady who was like, yeah, I might be interested in selling my house next year. I leave that house. This just happened to me. This isn't even a joke. I'm doing follow-up. I'm doing pop buys, dropping off some gifts this week. And I'm looking at my map on my phone, and I'm trying to remember which house is she at. Because she was so nice. But I couldn't remember, was it this block or this block? I mean, I'm within a block. I know where I'm going. But our brains are not programmed to remember things like that. And this is where utilizing your app, right? And taking down that right information, keeping track of those content, taking good notes, right? This is where it's so important to do those things. Sorry. Side note.
Funny story. As sales folks, realtors here, we are meeting a whole lot more people than the average homeowner would, right? We're having more conversations on a daily basis, I would think. So customers want to be heard and remembered. So if you can make sure to utilize that notes tab for those little conversations, something as simple as Sean putting in there, she was the nicest lady. That's going to help you remember that gal. And then, of course, put Smith Street or something. So
how about her address?
Yeah, address helps a lot as well. But those little things, I'm training some of my other accounts for some folks that are in sales. And right now we're training people to get to know their football team. I know it sounds weird, but during the football season, if you get to know their football team this week, you put it in the notes tab. On Sunday, you see if their team won or lost. You can start the conversation one of two ways. Hey, great win or tough loss. Just wanted to check in with you. So those are little things during sports seasons, just little different ways to stand out from your competition and be more personal, authentic with your homeowner. So who, when, and how to drop people into a campaign the right way and the wrong way. We're not just doing a spray and pray here. This is, method to madness, authentic, deciding the right time to do it. And we'll dive into that shortly. And really a great prospect or not sure, utilizing that long tail strategy. If you put a lot of front end work over 1 or 2 weeks, seeing if this person was ready to listen, they finally said, hey, just give me a couple months. That's when we enable the campaign. Sean, thanks so much for your time. It was a pleasure getting to know you and viewing your house. I'll go ahead and send you over a quick email. Go ahead and check your inbox, and we'll be able to send some follow-up info over the next couple of weeks. Just to check in with you, see when you're ready to sell. So that's all I got here for the slide deck. We're going to move over to the application here shortly.
Let me add something on the email campaign that I think is really important, because there was a lot of thought that went into the email campaign, and real estate agents are horrible at marketing and messaging. Like they miss the mark all the time. They're sending cookie recipes and they're doing all this stuff, and it's because they're trying to provide value to everybody as a whole, right? So let's say you have 100 people in your database. You're not trying to communicate to this 100 people, or you shouldn't be trying to communicate to this 100 people how to make cookies for the holidays, right? Or that's not the message, right? The real message that they need to have is to the 4 or 5 that are like, hey, we need to buy a house in the next 30 days, or we need to sell a house in the next 30 days. So there's 3 things that you always have to have in your brain when you're marketing to somebody: is evidence of action. Am I doing the business? Can I show them I'm actually out doing the business? Evidence of success. Am I successful at the business? And evidence of knowledge. Am I knowledgeable about the business that I'm in? And if you can market those 3 things to people, that'll develop trust. Because sure, some people get fearful about being too salesy. But you know what? Good salespeople are just great communicators. And that's what they're communicating. Evidence of action. I'm doing the business. Evidence of success. Here's some testimonies. Here's some stories about some clients that I've helped in the past. And evidence of knowledge. Here's what I know. The email campaign that's in your app, the beauty of it is built around evidence of knowledge. It's going to communicate in a way that's going to make you stand out amongst your peers, because it's going to talk about things that are more important. Okay, that's going to be important to the consumer, like how to buy a foreclosed home. Consumers are interested in learning how to buy a foreclosed home. So it's those kind of things that are going to give you the edge over the other agents. And cookie recipes.
Absolutely.
I hate cookie
recipes. Yeah. I mean, I had one of my realtors just send me just last week, sending out an email offering $1,000 referral to all my clientele base. Times are tough. I bought my house back in February. He didn't offer me a referral in February. Did he slip there? Maybe. When times are good, why wouldn't you be offering those referrals? And he's waiting until, it's a little bit slower. Now he's offering those referrals after, 6-8 months down the road. So you got to have those processes in place and good communication and nice incentive offers to each and every person you meet. So we're going to jump into our Trio application here. We're going to show you where you access that campaign. And then I'll show you really briefly how we assign a prospect to it. So we look here at the campaign, and we'll be working on new campaigns as we move forward. Currently, we have a prospecting campaign. Once again, that long tail strategy. Okay. With this campaign, it does start with a simple opt-in email. Okay. It's just verifying a prospect's information. So is it simple as when Sean's mentioned, knocking doors, he's sharing a digital business card. Okay. He can also say, Mr. Homer, I'm going to, send you over a quick email just to verify your email address so I could send you some follow-up information. So we'll put an opt-in only email in here moving forward. But if we look at it, it's just a simple way to verify it. It's authentic, and then it's going to automate after that. If the customer never clicks this little blue link, the rest of those emails won't be sent. So I'll show you how you know to see if they are opted in. And once they do that with a simple verification, you'll see here day 1, day 3, day 7, 15, and 30. So they'll get 5 emails during that first month. That's when we're providing value. And as Sean was mentioning, each and every one of these have great educational information. It's not just an email, hey, Sean, checking in, seeing if you're ready to sell yet. Like, that doesn't move the needle anywhere. But if we're reinforcing our skill set in the industry, we're providing great information here. And I was looking through this campaign the other day. I bought new windows and I looked through this article. I was like, man, I made a good decision. Like, this is the stuff people, and it's simple things that homeowners, or potential buyers just need to know. It's just a great way to stay in the loop with this information here. Correct, Sean?
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, here's the reality. They're not going to open every one of your emails, right? But they're not going to, what you don't want them to do is put you into spam either, right? So if you're overdoing it with not valuable information, they're going to throw you into spam. Or if your information is too narrow, right? They're going to say, hey, if it's all about buying a home, and they bought a home from you, now what is their value in keeping your email? So you have to have your email campaign in a way where it speaks to home ownership. It speaks to buying a home. It speaks to selling a home, because they might read one of your articles and say, hey, I'm not buying a home right now, but I have a friend who is, and they forward that article off to them. So the idea is when they need you, can they find you in their email. That's what we want. When they need you, can they find you in their email?
Absolutely. And these are all mobile and desktop friendly resources. So that's what's great too. It's already set up that way wherever they're viewing it. It's, taking them to articles, in this case here, a PDF. And these are the top 5 reasons or top 5 ways to boost the value of your home. Okay. And we'll be notified if they open it. Once again, it's really helping these potential sellers, provide value and get value from our information here. That's on day 7 there. So, it says here, are you planning on selling your home within the next 12 months? If we put somebody in this campaign, they most likely told us that. Yeah. Sometime this year, ideally. So they click the link, they're notified here. And there's always a simple call to action here at the bottom. So you'll see this would take you guys a long time to write yourselves. It's already included here in these campaigns. And we could see here after those first 30 days, it jumps to more of a 90-day follow-up. So every couple of months, quarterly, we're checking in with these potential homeowners. And, day 180, this is somebody that, I had a conversation with 6 months ago. I most likely forgot about them, right? They happened to open my email this morning and they clicked the link to credit score, and I get a real-time push notification. So I'll get a quick little reminder that Sean opened an email, and then that, gauges me. All right, let me go check in with Sean, see where he's at. It's been 6 months.
Well, I love what you said. Like you said, hey, I just put in new windows and I read it to see, did I make a good decision? And you bought your house, last year, right? We
end of February this year.
So as a homeowner too, what 5 things you can do to boost the value of your home, that's going to be important to you, even if you're not selling right now, right?
100%. Yeah, it's value regardless if you're a buyer or seller. It's a prospecting campaign on either side. We're providing value. This can lead to referrals. All right. This can lead to potential listings. And of course, buyers looking for a second home because they read the 5 ways to boost the value of their home. They can take out a home equity, invest in something else, really just educating people here. And to assign somebody to these simple campaigns, we'll go here to my contacts. All right. We already got Sean in here, and we could see here on his card, remember with the details, we got the notes here. So I sent him a survey. The answers are always tied. I met him on Smith Street. His dog is Charlie, red house, and he's got a Lamborghini in the driveway. So this is a prospect. This is a prospect here. I'm going to be giving 5 stars because I think he might have the money to purchase a second home here, right? And if we look here at the task feature, remember tasks are to set ourselves tasks for future follow-ups, check-ins, just like we're utilizing the campaign. And the activity log is chronologically everything that's been sent to our prospect and the time they've spent viewing that. And that's why Sean here has a score of 20. All right. It means he's taken time out of his day to view information we are sending. Under details, to assign Sean to the campaign. So as I mentioned, Sean just needs, he needs 6 months to get his ducks in a row. He's got some other investments he's trying to see through before he's ready to list, wants to see where the market goes. So he's going to say, hey, follow up with me a couple months, Cam. Prospects will be honest. If you built a decent relationship with them, they will let you know, hey, now's not the right time. Follow up with me in a few months. And as Sean said, if you don't take that 10 minutes or 5 minutes to put it in your Google Calendar, you're never going to follow up with that person. But if you go in here and add them as a contact, or they already are a contact, much easier to automate that follow-up. Shouldn't say automate, augment, just share valuable information here. So we see active campaign, not assign. So I simply go to this change button and I highlight prospecting campaign and I click assign. Remember, it starts with a simple opt-in. So I would simply say, if this was verbally, Sean was telling me that, or it was on the phone, hey, Cam, I don't have enough time to look into this. Reach out to me in 6 months. Sean, no worries at all. I'm going to send you over a quick email. Just check your inbox for me, and I'll follow up with some valuable information over the next couple of months. All right.
And honestly, in execution, the way we've been handling that is when you're in front of them, just say, hey, can you check to make sure you got that email? And then can you go ahead and click, accept? Because that way they're in. And otherwise you say, I don't want it to go to spam, or I don't want to accidentally have it go to the wrong location. Can you go ahead and just check literally while you're in front of them?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So while you're on the door, if you're using this long tail strategy, or at your last meeting, the numbers just weren't right now. So they say, follow up with me. That's when you would do it. And we don't ever have to mention, opt in here. We're just verifying your email address so I can send you some very valuable information over the next couple months. People enjoy, and that's really what these campaigns are, is valuable information. So we look here at Sean and we can see here this little email icon. All right. It means the campaign was sent to him. Okay. It means he was assigned. All right. But once they opt in, we see that green checkbox. So this is long tail strategy here. We got Weldon Long in here. He's viewed some resources and he has opted in. So those campaigns will automatically be sent to him, and we'll get those notifications as he's starting to open those campaigns over the next few weeks. And then, of course, into the long tail strategy from there as well. So that is our campaign feature. It's currently included in standard for a short time. It will be a pro resource very soon, probably next year. And we will be adding new campaigns to move along. So this one's a prospecting campaign, but we can start develop some campaigns directly for sellers, directly for buyers, directly for foreclosures. We're going to continue to add value to this. And you guys are all realtors as well. So if you have ideas for campaigns, that's what's really cool about the Trio platform is we're building a bit of a community here for realtors in which we're going to, start to offer you guys insights. If you have ideas like this campaign would kill it, or I've sent this article to so many prospects and it's moving the needle, share it with us so we can put it on the tool for you. All right. We're always open to interpretation and making this tool more valuable for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like Cam said, I'll put the chat link. I'll put the link here. It's just go to mytrioapp.com and you just follow the prompt. It does require you to put in your email address because you have to have a special link before you can go to your app store and download it. So don't go directly to the app store and try to find it there. If you do, you'll have to go to Rapid Funnel and then use the code TRIO, TRIO. But it's simple. Just go to the website, My Trio app, follow the registration process, and it'll send you to the right page with the download. So download it, play with it. There's some free coaching that's available in there on how to get started with the app, and you can build your own campaign with it.
Perfect. I'll give a quick insight. I might as well show everybody where that coaching is because it is very valuable here. Let me just share the screen one more time here on the mobile. So under that coaching section, all the recordings from this. So we're on, recording number 3. So in case you missed the first 2, you can get up to speed on, how to start to add your contacts, make your first exposures. Those are right here at the top. Trio app success training workshops. This is number 3. We're doing total of 18. So really hands-on training every week to get you guys up to speed on this tool. And then look at all these different programs Sean's offering in this system here. Specifically home sellers, home buyers, community, past client SOI, which I think this is a phenomenal one to jump into, during these times. This is a great database and you can see all of the information already in here. You can view these on your desktop as well. And you can actually see these modules. If you hired a new realtor on your team and you want to get them up to speed and you don't have time to train them, this will train them for you. Sean's been in the industry forever, so you can share the app with them and tell them, hey, I need you on module, 5 before the new year. And you can actually keep people accountable as well.
Yeah, that is a great point.
Yep. Accountability is key, right? So that is all we have for today.